Hi guys. Well, you just got your brand new veteran Sherman, and maybe you're wondering how best to set this wheel up for many thousands of miles of riding. So I thought I'd walk you through what I've done to set this up, and then I'll also walk through how to configure the LCD panel. Now, the first problem that you might encounter is that you take the Sherman out of the box and it won't turn on, or it won't balance when you turn it on. That's a safety precaution, because on the Sherman, when you turn the wheel on by pressing the lower right button, it's just a momentary press and it turns on and turns off. And that could happen too easily in shipping between China and here. So they've disabled that. And all you need to do is plug your charger into the wall, then plug the charger into one of the two ports in the back. The wheel will turn on, and then you pull out the charger and the wheel is now fully unlocked and you could ride it. Next, we need to check the tire pressure. Guys, don't assume new wheels come from the factory with good tire pressure. Usually they do, but I've received wheels with low tire pressure, and you could damage your rim, get a flat. So just check the tire pressure. You should have everything you need anyway for doing that. Let's see what's on this wheel. Okay, I'm a little below 25 psi. For this wheel, tire, machine, I like about 30 pounds. I think if you're kind of the average weight, if you're a real lightweight, 120, 30 pounds, something like that, you probably want a lower pressure. And if you're heavyweight, over 200 pounds, you're probably maybe going to want higher pressure. But I think 30 psi is a good place to begin. So let's add some pressure to this tire. If you're in the United States and you have a compressor, I like this thing. I bought this from Harbor Freight for like 10 bucks. It's probably a little too high now. 35. Yep, there you go. 30 psi and we're all set. Now, some of you guys know that I'm a big advocate of using slime in all your wheels, and I do. But I'm not going to put slime in the Sherman tire, at least not yet. I might in the future. The reason being is this tire is so thick, I just can't imagine hitting any typical object that we run over sometimes. And I've had my fair share of flats. It's going to puncture this. The main tire, is about 1/4 inch thick, about 6 millimeters. And that doesn't include the tread on top. These thick pieces of tread, they're about 1/4 inch thick, 6 millimeters. So I just think this is a tire that's not going to get flats. Kind of like the Monster. I never got a flat on my Monster over 3 years. It also has a pretty thick tire. Time to go over this display. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. This is the on-off button. Momentary press turns it off, turns it on. So that's pretty quick. This is for the light. So on, off. If you hold it down for a few seconds, it turns on the flashing lights. And again, hold it down for a few seconds and turns those off. And so you can have the flashing lights on by themselves. You can have the main light on by itself, or you can have them both on. So if I do this, I turn the lights on, and then I hold it down, and now the main light's on and the flashers are on. Okay, this is a selection button. well, we'll go through these two buttons. But here's your battery indicator, and this is 8 bars. I'll show you how to look at the actual voltage if you want more accurate indication. And this is your pedal mode, soft, medium, or hard mode. Your speed and your distance. As you can see, I only have 1 mile on this particular Sherman. So let's go into the configuration screen. I'll press this until it beeps. Just a few seconds. And now we're in the mode where we pick whether it's soft, medium, or hard. This will go to the different configuration screens. This makes the selection. So I'm going to do it again here. So I'm in this mode. If I click it again, you'll see it goes soft, medium, hard. Okay, now we want to go to the next configuration screen. This determines backward or forward tilt of the wheels, of the pedals. So every time I click this, it's 1 degree, 2 degree. I didn't do this fast enough. Okay, so I'm in that mode. Click it. So the pedals are tilting back 3 degrees, 4 degrees, 5 degrees. And then I click again, it'll go 0. And then I click again, it'll go forward 1 degree, 2, 3, 4, 5. And click it again, and it goes back to 0. Okay. Now I'll go to the next screen. This is tilt back. And this is 173 miles, which basically means it's off. So again, go back to the configuration screen. Tilt back, if I just do the selection, so it's 7.4 miles per hour, 9, and so forth. So I just leave it off there. And then this is alarm setting. So I have it off, 173 miles an hour, but you can set 1 alarm mode that'll get triggered when you reach that speed. There you go. This is the backlight for the LCD display. So I'm outside right now, it's pretty bright, you can't see it. So it's full power. So this is off, low power, medium brightness, full brightness. Level, this is for calibration. So if I activate the calibration, well, I guess I'll leave that for another. You shouldn't have to do the calibration right now. Maybe I'll do a separate video on the calibration, or at the end. Go back into the configuration screen. Backlight, calibration. This is just a status display that shows whether the wheel is unlocked. 0 means it's unlocked. When you get it from the factory, it'll be, I think it shows a 9 there. And this is where we select imperial or metric. This is imperial, and that is metric. Don't ask me what that means. So, of course, I like imperial since I'm in the United States. And that's it. One other item is if you want to turn off the back light, which is on by default, when the wheel's on, just momentarily press the power button and it turns it off. Press it again, turns it on. So if you want to go totally dark, you can turn off the front lights and the back lights. Now, one final mode to show you is the advanced mode. If you press and hold the OK button for 8 or so seconds, past the first beep. Okay, now we're in advanced mode. And I like this mode a lot because we can look at the voltage, 99.2 volts. The wheel, on average, they charge up to 99.5. That's what it'll show full charge. And the Sherman 0%, meaning it's going to tilt back and kick you off the wheel, is 76 volts. So that means 88 volts is 50% battery, and you can go from there. Now you can click this button to cycle through other modes. This is temperature, 44, 47. It's two different temperatures. I don't know where they are, and there's other modes. I'm not sure what they all are. One of them's how many amps are being drawn. Yeah, so maybe we can find out what some of these are. But I think the most useful one is the voltage, and then see, it turns off after that. I wish it would remember these settings when you switch the wheel. So this will, I do this a lot if I want to keep an eye on my battery, and it'll maintain that for the entire ride until you turn the wheel off, and then it goes back to the default. Okay, the final thing to show you is calibration. Go into the configuration screen and we cycle until we see level, and then tap this button. Don't hold it, but tap it, and you'll see it goes level 1. At this point, we get the wheel level this way and this way, and when you got it about right, press the OK button, tap it, and that's it. We're calibrated. Now on my other Sherman, over 900 miles, I never had to calibrate it. So you probably will never have to calibrate yours, but just in case you do need to, there you go. One final comment on the LCD display here is that when you receive it, it's probably going to look a little opaque-ish. There'll be bubbles and stuff. It just has a plastic film on it that you see in a lot of electronics you buy. So just I don't have it on here obviously, but just peel it up from the corner and remove it, and you'll see this display that I have here, nice and clear. Now when you're riding the Sherman at night, this light is absolutely fantastic, but if you're going up a hill or down a hill, as you know, the light will still face forward, and quite often you lose visibility to where you're headed. So what I like to do on the Sherman is using a 5mm Allen wrench, just loosen up the bolt on this side and on the other side. And when you do that, then you can reach down when you're riding, and you can point the headlamp down towards the ground if you're going down a hill, or you can move it up a little bit to get better visibility when you're going uphill. Finally, let's talk about the side pads that come with your Sherman, and that's what's installed on mine. Now, I actually like these. I'm going to go with these for at least initially, and I'll show you a little more details about these specific pads. But I have seen reviews online where some people don't like them. Pads are very personal, and of course a lot of you guys like to make your own pads too. Now these will work on the Sherman, of course. I think a lot of you guys, I'm sure, have seen these available various places on the internet. I don't have a specific link to these. I think you can even buy these on Amazon, but you might pay a premium to get them via that route. But these are wider than these, so they don't fit potentially quite as nice, and they're wider this direction also. Another alternative are these pads, and these are Jason at E-Wheels had these produced. Kingsong actually makes them for them, so they'll feel very familiar to you if you have Kingsong wheels. Same type of padding. It's tough, but it's definitely softer than this pad. This pad looks like it's made from the same material as these, and these are very stiff. So they potentially could be hard on your legs. But these are soft. Now, these were a prototype pair, and I actually helped eWheels come up with the final dimensions for the pads that they're getting in. So Backy approved for the new pads that are coming in. Same basic shape, but the new pads are going to be shorter this dimension, so they'll fit better on, they're kind of generic pads, but they'll fit better on most wheels now. These are, I think, too big. And also, this dimension I thought was not deep enough, so they're going to be thicker pads. They're actually going to be very similar to these in thickness. I don't know if eWheels has them in yet, but I'm sure they'll be getting them very soon, so this might be something that would interest you. But like I said, for now I'm going to go with these pads, and let me pull you in a little bit closer and talk about them. I think what you're going to want to do before you install these pads, if you decide to go with these semi-permanently, is do what I did. I took some double-sided tape and applied it here, so I kept this. I didn't remove the tape that comes with the pads. And what I did do is I took some sandpaper, some rough, like 100 grit sandpaper, and I roughed up, because this stuff is real slick, the tape won't stick to it. So I roughed it up, put some double-sided tape here, and then installed these, and then I rode the wheel for a while, and literally about 10 miles, just to get a sense for how do they really feel hitting my legs. And I like them, so I'm going to stick with them. So now I can remove this tape. If your wheel is dirty, of course, clean it. Mine's still clean, so I don't think I need to do that. And before I install these, let me show you something. Let me give you an even closer view of these to tell you why I really like these pads. Unlike every other pad I've ever seen, these pads are actually shaped, molded on the backside, and hopefully you can maybe see that. They're not flat like your typical pads, which means they actually fit perfectly in this recess here, and hopefully you can see that they're molded this way too, so when you put them on the wheel, they bend with the shape of the top of the wheel. So they just nestle in here and fit perfectly. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to apply these right now. Now they do tend to want to move around a little bit, but this top edge aligns with the top edge of the shell before it starts changing direction here. But just to help align this once I remove the tape, I'm going to put some blue tape just as guideposts. Make it a little easier to position it once I remove the backing tape. Okay. And they use, like about these pads, they use 3M tape, which is really good stuff. And it covers the entire back of the pads. They're not just some strips. Again, I'm using the blue tape to position it. Looks good. I love the fact that these pads fit perfectly to the shape of the shell. That's what bothers me about a lot of these other pads, is they never fit the shells really nicely. These are beautiful. Okay, and we are done. For any of you guys that want to have some reading material to put you to sleep at night, I'm going to put a link down below in the description for where you can download the manual for the Sherman. All right, I hope this video was useful, beneficial to any of you current Sherman owners or future owners. And if you don't have a Sherman or you don't have one ordered, what are you waiting for? I tell you guys, this is the best wheel of 2020 and probably well into 2021. See you guys soon.